Hello, my name is Alejandra Ramirez, and today I'll be doing my presentation on global warming. So, what is global warming? So, basically, what global warming is the high temperature of heat that is causing our planet to become hot. And because of this, is going to be developed. There's going to be a development when it comes to climate change. The way I can describe global warming is a big, thick blanket. So I'm going to cover the world with a big, thick blanket, and it's going to get warm, just like when we cover ourselves with a big, thick blanket. We're going to feel warm. And if we keep adding and adding more blankets into our world or onto us, we're going to get more and more hot. And that is exactly what is happening to Earth. As years go by, the increasement of heat starts to happen. And this is going to cause change to our Earth, and not in a positive way. It's going to affect us in a negative way. It's going to affect our world in a negative way. So in this picture we have here is a person holding the world. And on the right side, it's Earth, where there's blue water, the ocean, the land, the tree is flourished. Like everything is great on the right side. But on the left side, Earth is dying. Earth right here, it looks super hot. There's flames coming out, there's smoke. The tree on top is gone, it's dead. And this is what's going to happen to Earth if we do not make a change. So, history of global warming. Since the year 1880 till now, the Earth's temperature has risen by an average of 0.14 Fahrenheit per decade, which this is all combined with the ocean and land. By 1981, the average rate has increased twice as much as 0.32 Fahrenheit per decade. The highest and lowest level of temperature as of now has been 100 Fahrenheit, 55 Celsius apart. So there has been a tremendous change in the history of global warming. Global warming has increased over time, and it's going to continue to increase. How did global warming happen? This happened by human population. When it comes to humans, it's good that the population is growing because more people are in our beautiful earth, but it's the way we take care of our earth. And as of now, because of technology being advanced, because people want to live in a more of advanced life, in an easier life, this has caused changes on our earth that are very negative. Humans is what's destroying our earth because of what the resources that we're using. Those resources are really bad for our earth, even though it's giving us an easier life to live in. So how has global warming affected climate change? Now, when it comes to climate change can be affected in a very negative way when it comes to global warming. And the reason for this is because of the climate change of its patterns, the weather patterns, which the sea level will expand of the warmer seas and melting ice glaciers. And this can cause big impact on the weather that can create extreme weather, such as tornadoes, hurricanes that can lead up to hurricane of category 4 or 5, droughts because of how hot it is, which this causes for wildfires to be created and be happening a lot more. Also, there can be floodings as well. The floodings will increase over time, and ice starts to melt too, such as Antarctica. And this is very serious because this could be very life-threatening to Earth. Now, what are the extreme heat causes? Global warming has caused heat waves over the years that has caused tens of thousands of deaths all over the world. And one of these examples can be Antarctica. Now, this place is one of the coldest places ever. But yet, because of global warming, because of the heat, it is losing over 4 trillion metric tons of ice since the year 1990. And this is very bad for the animals as well, because these animals depend on Antarctica because they're meant to be in the cold. And because the ice is melting, they won't have a place to live. All the animals will die. The fish, the things that they're able to eat won't be able to survive because they need that cold. They need ice. And such as this penguin right here. This penguin has lost their home because of the ice that's melting. And it will continue to melt as global warming continues on. And the heat has caused the ocean temperature to warm up, causing hurricanes to go more extreme, which this has increased since the year 1980. Why are people not affected equally? Global warming is all over the world, which means many people all over the world live differently. They may not be financially stable. And because of this can cause them to live in houses or not be able to have the right resources to be protected by these extreme weather changes that's happening, especially now since our weather is unpredictable. It can happen in a second. We can have sunny for a while, and then we can have a severe change of the weather and can cause damage. Like this picture right here, there's a flood and it looks like the highway is destroyed. It could have been a tornado or hurricane. And this can be life-threatening to these people. These people are not just losing their homes, but also losing their lives as well. So how has fossil fuel impacted global warming? As human population has increased over the decades, this has also caused an increasement on the burning of fossil fuels because we use fossil fuels every single day. And fossil fuels contains of coal, oil, and natural gas, which this is being used in a daily on what we have now. Greenhouse effect will develop because of the burning of the fossil fuel. On this picture right here, we have fossil fuel burning. There's smoke coming out. That is polluting our air, which is bad for us. So what is greenhouse effect? Greenhouse effect is when the rays of the sun penetrates the atmosphere. But the problem is that the heat can't reflect off the surface, which can escape back to space. The burning of the fossil fuel is preventing the heat from leaving atmosphere. These greenhouse gases have carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons, water vapor, methane, and nitrous oxide. This excessive heat in the atmosphere is what caused global warming to happen because the temperature starts to rise over time. So what are the measurements of global temperature? The ways that scientists measures is that they go all over the world and they'll track the changes of the temperature. They'll get different locations, they'll collect the data, they'll see what's going on. As years go by, they'll see how much global warming has increased, how much the temperature has increased. And then from there, they're going to go ahead and convert the measurements from the absolute temperature readings to temperature anomalies. They will also use temperatures that are surrounded and information to find the missing values. Each value will be calculated to the global temperature change. So what will the global temperature be in the future? In 2017, U.S. Climate Science Special Report states that in the year 2000, that it has increased over time, but if it continues to do that, then the temperature will be 5 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than 1901 to 1960, which this means by the end of the century, it will be 10.2 degrees warmer. Even by the year 2050, if it starts to decline, the temperature will be 2.4 degrees warmer than how it was in 20th century, which was 5.9 degrees warmer. So it's still a bit harder to change by the year 2050 because the temperature is already rising very fast and increasing a lot more. As we continue on how global warming will affect our future, is that there will be disappearance from ice glaciers. The snow will start to melt early on, such as Antarctica. There will be more droughts, and because of these droughts, this is going to affect the water shortages, and this will increase wildfires, which people will be losing their homes as well, or animals losing their homes. And agriculture will also be affected because of the droughts. They won't be able to grow crops. If there's like severe weather going on, there'll be more floodings, there'll be all that, and that can cause the crops to be affected, or new pests would also destroy these crops, so they won't be able to grow it. Floods will happen more frequently because of the rise of the sea level. There will be outbreaks of different diseases, asthma, and allergies. This is all because of the air pollution and the growth of pollen-produced ragweed. So how countries find a change? China is the first country to take role in leading the global warming pollution, which is basically producing 26% of CO2 emission, which the United States has ranked to the second, and European Union has been the fourth, and India has made fourth as well. But United States has been putting most of the effort on ranking on number one when it comes to quantitative emission the past 150 years. United States has become committed on making the world clean and make this world a better place for people to live in. What ways have United States has helped? Industry and business leaders have came together to be able to create ways where the technologies that are clean energy, that way they can help with the buildings. That way when people live in the houses, there's a reduce on energy being used, being able to lower the electric and heating bills. President Joe Biden determined to cut the carbon pollution. That way it prevents the global temperature from rising more than 1.5 degrees Celsius, which he has also created a climate team to be able to keep track on these solutions. That way they're able to save the planet. So what is the 2015 Paris Climate Change Agreement? In the world, there are countries that have come together to commit to this agreement. This is a plan to set up standards and be able to find more policies to be able to slow down global warming from happening. This agreement reduced the global carbon emission, but this agreement is not going in a fast pace, which it has been done by the year 2030 to avoid serious impact of climate change. So it's very important to be able to stop this from happening because the increasement of the global changes keeps going on and on faster. And this can cause there to be severe climate change to happen in our future, which is not good. So how can we stop it? The first way is for people to come together and use energy sources that are more helpful, such as wind and solar, instead of using fossil fuel-based production. It is important for people to stop creating cars that are used for gas, but instead to electrify these cars to help the environment. It is important to also maximize the energy when it comes to where we live and what we use that way it can help our environment. And this is my works cited. And that is it for my presentation. Thank you.